Hi, it's Lynn Shuck with Healing and Balance. We're going to look at hip CARs again. The previous video, if you're going in order, was hip CARs in table on all fours. Now we're going to do hip CARs lying down. So again, CARs are controlled articular rotations. They come from the movement world, but I like to use them in a yoga class to give people a better understanding of where they're moving from and when they're compensating. It's not bad to compensate by any means, but it's nice to know the difference of when you are and when you aren't and how you work on not compensating. So you'll have the option of using a sandbag in this, and I'll show you where that comes into play. So the movement itself is the same one we did in table. I would bend my leg. I'm going to bring my knee toward my chest, bring it out to the side, bring it down into tree pose almost, and then knee to the ceiling. And then if I reverse it, I go to tree, knee towards the shoulder, knee up over your chest and down. When we do that on all fours, the compensations show up in twists and in arms bending, and we used a ball on our spine to try and keep the spine from moving. Here, the compensations show up again in the spine and in the torso, but it looks a little more like this. I pick my leg up and my back goes flat and my other leg bends. As I go out to the side, my hip comes up. As I bring my foot down towards tree, I get back towards where I started, and when the knee comes up, my pelvis rights itself. So we're going to focus on this extended leg now. If I make this leg active so that I try and resist all that movement, I also want to notice my torso here and make sure my spine is stable. So let's start with both legs straight, and the backs of the heels are on the floor and my thighs pressed toward the floor, and I'm going to pull my lower ribs toward the floor a little bit because I don't want ribs up here, but I'm also not flattening my whole back into the floor. There's a little bit of lumbar curve. I want it to stay. So now when I pick my leg up, as I bring my knee toward the chest, I want to make sure I don't flatten the back, I don't bend this leg. Nothing moves here. Now I'm going to focus on this leg and press this leg into the floor and press this side of my torso into the floor as I take the bent leg out to the side, resisting, resisting, resisting. You might not move as far, and then the leg comes down to tree. I'm still resisting, and then I bring my knee up to the center and my body gets a little bit of relaxation, and then I get to do it again, and I'm pulling toward the floor with the supporting side, and then the knee comes up to the ceiling, and when I reverse the circle, knee goes out to the side. I really need to pull here, pull here, pull here. This whole side of my body pressing toward the floor. Spine doesn't change shape. And we'll do it one more time. Resisting down through this side of the body. As the knee comes up over your chest, your back does not flatten, and we take the leg down. Now, because not all of us have as much strength to resist this movement, we can use a weight. Now, I'm using a sandbag. It's 10 pounds. I like this 10-pound weight, and I'm going to put it right across that hip joint, so it's on my pelvis and on my thigh. If you don't have sandbags, a bag of rice works really well, a bag of dried beans. They won't be as heavy as 10 pounds most likely, but they'll do. And so now this sandbag is helping me press my thigh toward the floor. And so as I bring my leg up, I still have to think about not flattening my back, but I don't have to use as much physical effort to take my leg out to the side without my hips moving. My hips stay more still because this sandbag is helping me, is doing some of the work that my body might not be ready to do yet. Does it matter if your hips go? No, honestly, it does not really matter. But if you don't know they're doing that and you've been trying to work on stabilizing around that hip movement and you don't know the hips are flying, how are you going to build that stability and strength? So we can use a sandbag, we can pay attention to the movement, we can make it smaller if we need to, but we want to work slowly, building the stability and strength around that movement. Hip CARs in Supine Mountain. Go.